had broken up fights, chased down criminals, and steered frightened citizens to safety. They were trembling slightly. I just found out I am sterile. The words hung in the quiet air of the squad room, heavy and profound. The vulnerability of the moment was stark. Stripping away the tough exteriors they all wore to survive the daily grind of the city. Wojo looked up, his eyes shining with unshed tears, but his jaw was set with a quiet, resilient strength. I am just beginning to deal with that one. Harris stared at Wojo, the enormity of his colleague's pain instantly eclipsing his own professional anxieties. The petty squabbles, the ignored greetings, the silent treatment of the past few weeks dissolved entirely in the face of this deeply human revelation. The point is that we can work it out together, Wojo said, offering a fragile, supportive smile. Harris slowly stood up, placing a hand gently on Wojo's shoulder. The gesture spoke volumes, carrying a weight of understanding and brotherhood that words could not adequately express. "Okay," Harris said softly. He offered a small, genuine smile, breaking the tension with a touch of his trademark humor. "Just not in the same room." Wojo chuckled softly, a wet, relieved sound. "Excuse me," a high-pitched, slightly panicked voice called out from the doorway. They all turned. A man in a crumpled suit was standing there, looking desperately around the room. "Has anybody seen my car?" "Me? You?" Barney smiled, shaking his head slowly as the endless, beautifully chaotic cycle of the precinct prepared to begin all over again. "Come on in," Barney said, walking back toward his desk. "Tell us all about it." The morning sun filtered through the tall, grime-streaked windows of the 12th precinct, casting long shadows across the worn wooden floorboards. The clock on the wall indicated it was exactly 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. Yet the chaotic energy of the city was already buzzing within the peeling walls of the squad room. Sergeant Arthur Harris stood by his desk, adjusting the cuffs of his impeccably tailored suit, holding the telephone receiver tightly to his ear. He sighed, a sound filled with polite frustration. "Look, I know we used to have business lunches in the past, but there's a new policy now." Harris spoke into the receiver, his voice smooth but firm. He paused, listening to the voice on the other end. "No, it is the same, Captain, and I cannot use the telephone anymore either. Goodbye, Alan." Captain Barney Miller emerged from his office, clutching a folder of reports. He was a man who wore his responsibilities like a heavy, albeit comfortable, overcoat. He approached Harris, his expression a mixture of fatigue and expectation. "Harris," Barney began, hoping to finally have a genuine conversation. Harris immediately turned defensive, raising a hand. "Barney, I was talking to my literary agent, and I admit it freely." Barney nodded slowly, trying to keep his patience intact. "Harris, it is only 2 minutes to 9. I charged a telephone call to my home telephone, and these are the crime statistics you asked for." He handed the folder over. "Thank you," Harris replied, taking the folder with a crisp nod. "Sir, is there anything else?" Harris asked, hoping to retreat to the safety of his paper. Himself a great big standing ovation. Barney laughed, the sound breaking the remaining tension in the room. "I got statements from everybody, so I'm going to write this up." "Thank you," Wojo said, smiling. "You need any help?" "Nah, I can handle it. But, thanks for the thought." Chapter 4, A Beautiful Choral Dream. The heavy wooden doors of the precinct opened once more, admitting a woman who looked entirely out of place amidst the drab, institutional decor. She was elegant, dressed in a sharply tailored suit that spoke of quiet wealth and impeccable taste. Her silver hair was perfectly coiffed, and she carried a small designer handbag. She looked around hesitantly. Can I help you?" Wojo asked, stepping forward. I am not sure," she said, her voice melodic and refined. "I think I took the wrong stairs." I am looking for policemen who found my DeSoto." Wojo's face brightened. "Are you Miss Shawcross?" "Yes." "Yeah, I am Sergeant Wojciechowicz," he said, extending a large calloused hand. "Yeah, I talked to you this morning. Miss Shawcross shook his hand warmly. Oh, I appreciate your finding me after all these years. Sure. Did you see your car downstairs? Her eyes lit up with genuine delight. Oh, well, how could I miss it? I mean, it is so big and pink. It is not pink. A mournful voice called out from the holding cell area. Hilliard was standing at the bars, his face pressed between the cold steel, looking utterly desolate. It is coral. It was a very popular shade that year. Miss Shawcross looked over at the cell, her expression softening. Perhaps that is why I bought it. Yeah, why don't you have a seat here? Wojo suggested, pulling out a chair near his desk. I will finish up some paperwork, and then you can drive your car home. Oh, she said, sitting down gracefully. Oh, I hope you remember how. Before Wojo could begin the paperwork, another man bustled into the squad room, his face flushed with exertion. Yeah, can I help you? Barney called out. Herb Boskin, Department of Sanitation. The man announced, slightly out of breath. I understand you have a problem with one of my officers. Oh, yeah, Barney said, pointing toward the holding area. Officer Earl. He is in the cage there. I will get the captain for you, Wojo offered. Sladek gripped the bars of his cell, looking desperate. Slide it. Hey, how is it going, Mr. Boskin? Boskin stared at him, bewildered. What are you doing in there? Beats me. Barney walked over. Boskin, I am Captain Miller. Captain, I am a little confused, Boskin said, adjusting his tie. Why is this officer in jail? This officer took a shot at somebody for throwing a candy bar on the grass. Barney stated matter-of-factly. Boskin winced. You did what? Hey, do not you start on me now, too. Mr. Harding, what happened to all your training? These men have a standing order, and we drill it into their heads every day. The gun stays in the holster. Unless your life is on the line, Sladek argued, his stubbornness returning. That guy was 2 feet from a trash can. Boskin sighed deeply, rubbing his temples. Captain, is there some place that we can talk in private? You see, Captain, Officer Sladek is only recently SP. SP? Barney asked. Sanitation police. They moved a few paces away from the cells, speaking in hushed tones. And I just hate to think that this one isolated incident will soil an otherwise perfect record. Boskin pleaded smoothly. Are you kidding? Barney whispered fiercely. That madman could have killed somebody. Well, he is a rookie. You know how they are. Boskin rationalized, waving a dismissive hand. Fresh off the truck. In love with the uniform. Thinks he is going to clean up the city overnight. Just got a little overzealous. That is all. You were probably the same way yourself. Barney stiffened. No, I was never a garbage man. Boskin bristled. I hate that word. Look, what is it you want of me? Barney asked, losing patience. Turned Sladek over to me. I cannot do that, Barney said flatly. Somebody signed a complaint against him. Boskin leaned in, his voice taking on a desperate, pleading quality. Look, Captain, I do not think you can fully appreciate my situation here. Our little force has had one shakeup as it is. We have some rotten apples that were voted out for abusing their rank, and several patrolmen suspended for turning in bogus citations. I was not aware of that, Barney admitted, surprised by the candor. Oh, well, anyway, yeah, we put all that behind us. You know, and we have taken steps to solve those problems. And I just hate to think that the city is going to dump on us again just because Sladek got nuts with his gun. Why do you people carry guns anyway? Barney asked, genuinely baffled. We are cops, Boskin said proudly. No, we are cops. You are garbage men, Barney countered. Boskin threw his hands up in defeat. You keep coming back to that. You keep coming back to that. While Barney dealt with the sanitation department crisis, Miss Shawcross had wandered over to holding cells. Excuse me, she said softly, looking at the man behind the bars. Yes, Hilliard replied, looking up from his miserable contemplation of the floor. I am Joseph Hilliard. We spoke earlier. I am the guy who stole your DeSoto back in